You're listening to All Things Sports with Mike Davis.
Hey, what is going on, everybody? Glad you can join me on another podcast of All Things Sports with Mike Davis. I thank you for including my podcast into your day. If you're listening on Spotify, follow the podcast. If you're on the YouTube side of things, comment, subscribe, like, hit the bell, all that good stuff. Go to the social media links in the description box to get in contact with the show for comments or any suggestions. I won't take up much more of your time. Let's get into it. Wow, it feels like it has been forever since I've done a podcast. In reality, it's only been, 2 weeks maybe? 2.5 weeks, something like that. You know, kind of like Naomi Osaka. You know, you sometimes you just need that mental break, have some alone time, some thoughts to yourself, I think I needed that, and it was much needed. Much needed. Always great to have a mental health day, you take off from work or something like that and just clear the brain, not overthinking a lot of things that have you thinking about whatever it is you're thinking about. I do it at work, I always take time to myself before I go into the job because I know going into work is a different animal from anything else that I do in my life. So, that's what I've been doing. So other than that, how was everybody's extended weekend this past weekend? How was your Memorial Day? Mine was pretty good. I'm weird about holidays, I normally call it Happy I'm Off Work Day, but that's normally what I call my holidays. And I went into work actually. I went into work, got a couple hours in. No, I don't have to work on holidays. I'm normally off, paid holidays, which is good with any job. You're able to get that as your job. But I went in, got a couple hours in, and I barbecued at the end of the day. Thank you to all the men and women that served in our militaries that allowed me that freedom to do so. So I hope your extended holiday was just as good as mine. I don't want to bore you with the details of what I had going on. So, look, let's just get into the show. I got a great show for you guys today. I wanted to talk about a situation that's been going on. Well, this really isn't a situation, but I believe it happened on the podcast that caused a situation. Now, if you guys remember, Jeanie Buss, owner of the LAKERS, when she was on the All the Smoke podcast, which is hosted by Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes, she ended up giving her 5 most important Lakers. And no, one of those Lakers weren't Kwame Brown. We know Kwame is all in the news, and I, for one, I subscribe to what Kwame Brown is talking about, but we're not here to get into that today. So, like I said, Jeanie Buss was on the All the Smoke podcast maybe about, 2 weeks ago or so? Something like that. And she gave her top 5 most important Lakers. And I have a little bit of a beef with the 5 people that she gave. Now, let's go ahead and dive into it. Number 1, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I got no problem with that. No problem at all with Kareem. Number 2, Kobe Bryant. I had no problem with Kobe Bryant. I mean, come on. Outside of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and another point guard for the Magic. I mean, not the Magic. Not the Orlando Magic, but Magic Johnson. Outside of him, Kobe is probably the next most important Laker. So you can go 1-2 with Kobe. Got no problem with him. All right, and the guy I just mentioned, Magic Johnson, number 3. Okay, no problem there. I understand. Magic. Number 4, Phil Jackson. I don't have a problem with Phil, but, you know, for those of you that saw Showtime Lakers, you know, you can make an argument for Pat Riley, you know, who won 4 titles as the Lakers head coach. And did Riley coach that 91 Lakers team that lost to the Bulls? I'm not sure if he coached that. He might have. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But he might have coached that 91 year. Look, Pat Riley coached in quite a few NBA finals when you think about it. You know, Magic Johnson and those Showtime Lakers didn't go undefeated in you know, all the final trips that he went to, you know. And Pat Riley was there as the head coach. So, like I said, Phil, you know, I don't have a problem with Phil Jackson if you want to put him in there at number 4. But, you know, for the older guys, you know, they're pretty much older than me, you know, that really saw Showtime Lakers. You know, if you want to make an argument for Pat Riley as well, you know, I have no problem with that. I understand it. But here's where I have the problem with, and it comes at number 5. LeBron James. Look, people would classify me as a LeBron James hater, but he's not top 5 important Lakers of all time. And look, you throw Shaq in there before LeBron, and this guy back to Shaq, and people asked Shaq about how he felt about what Jeanie Buss said, and Shaq said, look, it was no hard feelings. You know, he understands it. He doesn't have any complaints with how Jeanie Buss feels about the top 5 most important Lakers. Look, LeBron James has this is what, his 3rd year in LA. Only 3 seasons in LA so far. So 1 trip to the finals. He had, I won't say his first year was horrible, but it didn't go as planned. Okay, the Lakers were who we thought we were. LeBron's first year there, and right now AD is hurt, and I think he's questionable for Game 5. So, you know, without AD, LeBron's not winning. Let's just put it into the right perspective. And I'm sorry, I'm putting Shaq in before LeBron James as the 5 most important Lakers. Look, Shaq played 8 years in LA. He went to the NBA Finals 4 times in LA. He won 3 titles, 3 out of 4. So, 4 finals appearances in 8 years. All right, Shaq averaged 27 a game, 11 boards, 3 assists, 2 blocks, shot 57% from the field during his 8-year stretch in LA. These are his Laker numbers. Okay. Now LeBron is going to have to he's going to have to get the Lakers to 5 NBA Finals appearances for me to even put him above Shaq. Okay. Now LeBron and his time in LA, you know, look, the numbers are great. I'm not going to deny that. You know, LeBron 25 points, 8 boards, 8 assists, shooting 50% from the field, 3 years, 167 games, and 1 title. You know, so I'm taking Shaq. I don't know how you feel about it. I think Jeanie Buss is wrong. I think Jeanie Buss is wrong about a lot of things. Okay, you know, it's not just that. You know, she better be thanking whoever she has to thank that LeBron James came to LA, because if he didn't come to LA, the Lakers would still be the horrible Laker team that we saw before LeBron got there. You know, and I just don't like, you know, not to sound sexist, I just don't trust women that are in charge. I just don't. You know, it's not like she went out and did something major. You know, but she's not even signing. Who's signing the guys? The guy who was Magic Johnson had the beef with, the former agent, Pelinka, I believe that's his name, Rob Pelinka. He's doing the signing. Jeanie Buss. Look, I can go in on Jeanie Buss. I'm not going to. But and there's the whistle right there. The whistle always saves me. It knows when I'm getting off track and I'm about to ramble. So look, what are your thoughts on Jeanie Buss's list? Are you okay with it? Is she wrong? Who would you take out and put in? Look, let me know down below in the comments. All right, let's jump into this day in sports history. This day in sports history, June 2nd, 1987, the Seattle Mariners drafted the kid at number 1, Ken Griffey Jr. Hey, look, guys, that's all I got for you today, folks. I thank you for including my podcast to your day. If you're listening on Spotify, go ahead, do yourself a favor. Follow the podcast. If you're on the YouTube side of things, subscribe, comment, like, hit the bell, all that good stuff. Go to the social media links in the description box to get in contact with the show for it. Any comments or suggestions? You've been listening to All Things Sports with Mike Davis, and remember, it's your world. I'm just giving my opinion. I'm out. Peace.
You're listening to All Things Sports with Mike Davis.